Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your match day preview for Morecambe versus Wrexham AFC. Yes, it is match day 36, squeaky bum time, and it's Friday. So happy Friday, everybody. Hope everyone had a great week. Yes, we're getting ready for this game tomorrow. And as you can see on the thumbnail, it says MACCA in the middle. I saw an article about Phil Parkinson talking about moving McLean into the midfield, and that seemed to be helping out a bit, and I think it has done too. And it's been a little while since we've been live. So, finally got back sorted out and everything. Was feeling a little sick, got a little bit of a sore throat, but nothing we can't handle. But smash a like on the show. Also, we are on our way to 500 subs. We are on our way to 500 subs. You got 453. Not that we're counting, but we're counting. 453. We have 47 left to go. We want to get there. Let's do this. So excited to get there. Let's keep army crawling through it. Let's do this. Welsh one's in the house. Afternoon, Welsh one. Good to see you. And also Ivan, who I'm going to get on in a minute here as well. Just chatting with him as well. Ivan will be here. Are we going to have fan Ivan? We're going to have stat Ivan coming in. But we're going to get him on in a second here. I got a couple things I just want to walk through this article, and then I'll bring him in. Remember, tomorrow, we have a game tomorrow. Against Morecambe, and, it's a top 10 game. It's squeaky bum time, and let's just say it's important for us to go and get these 3 points. Karen's in the house. Karen, you did us no favors last week. What the hell's going on, man? You guys didn't show up. Guys got to win some matches here. If you want to compete. You want to be with the big boys, be with the big boys. Good to see you, Karen. Good to see you. Karen is a Newport County fan, supporter. A good guy, building his brand as well, doing well, putting his stuff out there. I follow him on Karen. Put your drop your link, whatever your socials in the chat. People can follow you as well, because I know you do a lot of League 2 stuff, League 1 stuff. Awesome. He says we can count and crawl. Fear us. Yes. Let's go. So quickly before I get Ivan in here, I want to talk about this. Why we have the MACCA up there on the thumbnail. MACCA in the middle. Malcolm in the middle, Morecambe in the middle. I don't know if anyone anyone knows that, but this comes from One Football. Wrexham, Phil Parkinson, tactical master stroke. Oh shit! Good thing I didn't bring Ivan on yet, because it says tactical master stroke. Looks to be paying dividends. View. So maybe I will get him on real quick. I'll drop the link for him to come in. Hold on 1 second here, Ivan. I'll drop this here for you. Because I want to see what you think about this. Malcolm in the middle, Def. So he's basically, what they're saying here is Wrexham can continue the pursuit, back-to-back promotions this weekend. They're traveling to Morecambe this Saturday afternoon. Despite Phil Parkinson's side recent slump, they returned to winning ways last Saturday with a comfortable win at Accrington Stanley. Now it just sits, there's 3 points behind the leaders, Mansfield Town, ahead of their top of the table clash. I see Ives coming in there. Before I bring him in, and he can get his say on this too. The position, talking about the position change for McLean, putting him in the midfield. So their win over Accrington Stanley was their first league success since the middle of February, when they beat National League rivals Notts County at the Stoke, with their most recent victory masterminded by one of their most experienced seasoned players. Position change was crucial to Wrexham returning to the winning ways. Ahead of the game, Wrexham had failed to win their previous 3 fixtures, having controversially had controversy drawn with MK Dons, losing away to playoff hopefuls Gillingham and managing just a point. Parkinson knew the change was needed, he says, and made 3 ahead of the game against Accrington Stanley, including bringing Jacob Mendy into the side at left wing back, McLean's usual position, which moved Luke Young and Republic of Ireland midfielder Elliot Lee alongside Andy Cannon and McLean in the midfield. So what they're saying here in this article is basically like, the movement of moving McLean into the midfield has turned into a masterclass for Parkinson. And that bombshell, I'm going to bring in my guy. I see him. Wait, here it is. I got him. I knew it.
Can you say that again, please?
That's why I was going to bring you in late, because I knew you were going to go tits up. I knew it was going to be shit. I knew it was going to happen. He said, here you go. Despite not being in a natural position for the 34-year-old, McLean has just made that central position his own, starting 3 of the last 4 games in midfield, giving his manager fresh ideas as they move closer to 10 games left of the season. You got to go with it. You gotta, hold on.
No,
It's great. It's
hold on.
masterclass. It's squeaky bum
Tactical.
time.
What did they say? Tactical masterclass.
Tactical masterclass. Kieran, I'll get you in a little bit. Here, by the way, let me just put this up real quick.
Hold on.
Kieran at UTC is most of his social media. It's just for them, and it's also
my goodness.
Yes, tactical masterclass right there. What
okay,
do you think?
you know, I think that the only reason, like the main reason, we won that game, two words: Paul Mullen. Okay, that's it. Paul Mullen. He scored a hat trick. We played. I'm not taking away the importance of 3 points. It's great we won. That's great. We should be winning every week, actually. But changing players around and relying on them to make good decisions, putting McLean in the middle and Palmer up front, has nothing to do with tactical originality or mastermind or master class.
You got to sell it.
Swapping players within the formation, just playing a different last name. It's not a technically genius move. Our patterns, the picture of the way we played did not change whatsoever.
But we got the 3 points, right? Here we go.
Yes, no, I'm not like that. That's we're talking apples and oranges here.
Yeah.
We got 3 points because we played against a broken team who obviously is in an extreme state of crisis. They did not double up on Mullen. They were not that keen on defending, to be honest. Like they did not look like the team who's up for the fight.
Well, they fired the manager afterwards.
Yeah, they fired the manager straight away. Again, not taking anything away from the boys, but we did not play a team in the top form.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, tactical masterclass right there.
It's bullshit. It's absolute. What are they smoking? What are they smoking? Did you guys watch the AAA, the AAA video after the game? Yeah. I know you guys in chat. Have you seen the AAA footage after the game? And you see Parkinson walking down the tunnel with the boys after the game. Did you guys hear what he was saying to Mendy? His feedback for the game? Tell me in the chat right now if you heard that. Yeah, I know, Josh, you did because I asked you to listen to it.
While they're doing, I'll get to Adam Cruz, 3 words, Super Paul Mullen, laugh out loud. Hello, lads. Another guy. What's the masterclass? So let me just Hugo, the masterclass. Before we get into what he's going to get into real quick, the masterclass is there's an article on One Football, and it said moving MACCA into the midfield is a masterclass by Parkinson, and which has changed things up, even though forcefully he had to. And I'm thinking it's,
actually on that, did you guys see what MACCA did when he walked through the tunnel and Phil Parkinson was in the tunnel? Did you guys see what he did? So you guys like in chat, yeah? No AAA view yet. No, okay. So when Mendy was walking down the tunnel and Parkinson was next to him, Parkinson was saying, "Oh, that's good, powerful, win more headers and put more crosses in the box." That feedback to your player on the professional football level is, I had better feedback playing Sunday League. Let's just put it this way. It's not just basic. And the look in Mendy's eyes, he was looking at him like, anything else, maybe? Like, care to elaborate a little bit? That's not the feedback. Like, so talking about tactical mastermind, it's not. It's relying on the people to make good decisions in the positions they play. MACCA, when he walked down the tunnel, completely ignored Parkinson. He literally looked straight past him, and his face was like, "Don't talk to me. Don't want to look at you." Like, you look at that face, and Parkinson was the same way. He just looked away, and there is definitely something going on there. From my experience, you do.
Pissed at him because he got the yellow card because it came with that risk, or it was the headband. I don't know, but you do not, like, from my experience, you do not treat your coach like that. I agree.
You do not just blank your coach and just go like, fuck. Like, it was literally a middle finger. Like, he was walking by him, was like, "Don't talk to me, don't even look at me. Like, I don't give a fuck about you." That's what he was saying with his body language was literally like, "You do not exist for me." Like if
John Goff says maybe not a masterclass, but you arguably best player in the middle, putting your arguably best player in the middle to pull the strings is a good idea. So I don't think he was pulling the strings. Let's take that out for a second. He was pressing. He was pressing in the midfield, right? So I don't know if he was pulling the strings because you're right. We didn't change pattern of play, and we'll get to. I got a couple of articles here too about what Parkinson was saying. Didn't pull the strings. He was definitely pressing in the midfield, a little bit more energy. So I think that was it. In my opinion. The only person not pulling the strings who's not out there is Gio, who's still injured, right? And we have Stash, who looks to be back probably on the bench this weekend.
Do you know what would be a good move if you're talking about tactical moves and moving people into different positions? MACCA, we know originally can play anywhere, literally anywhere around midfield and up front. A more or less smart, wise move would be to make MACCA a Raumdeuter in German. So Raumdeuter, that's a German word for pretty much a roamer. No, it's a roamer.
Like a free.
Free player. That would be something that I would say, yeah, that's technically. But to be able to do that, we need a system. Again, other people need to know what they're going to be doing with a player like that. Because MACCA, with his abilities, with his vision, with his skill, with his physical prowess, and with his ability to move laterally on both feet, can definitely be a Raumdeuter.
So, all right. So but on that note, right? We're going into this match. You would keep MACCA in the midfield, regardless, right?
I could. Right now there is no. Do we have anybody else who can literally play for Gio at this level right now?
Yeah.
So we're compensating Gio with.
Gio is still out a bit, and then by the way, Paul Mullen has a shot in his back, so he's not, so God knows if he's going to be up to snuff this weekend. Let's see if he starts. Welsh one is that your guy? Is that?
Yeah, he is from New Plymouth. No, that's Chris. Sorry if I should not say your real name.
A bit of conspiracy theory for me. It's an opinion.
Look, Look, honestly, look at the footage. Look at what is happening in the tunnel. I've been a coach myself. I've been a player myself, as well as you were, Chris. You know that the way you treat your coach with a certain level of respect. Body language is a huge thing, and you will get absolutely ripped for treating your boss like that, especially in front of the other boys. I could not even I'm not even talking about any conspiracy theories. I'm just talking about you just don't treat your coach that way. You don't ignore him like that.
Mm-hmm. So, but he has played up front. MACCA in the middle. I think it's a good move. He said we pretty much have McLean feeding our National League strike force. It might keep working. That's what. See, here's the thing. This has to. You and I talked privately. It's squeaky bum time. We got to win these matches. We got to win the next matches. So definitely. What do you think about this one? Hugo says we have a proper left back in Jacob Mendy. I think he's a better position over there, right?
At this level, Jacob Mendy is more than capable of playing left back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's absolutely fine in that position.
Okay. Kieran, I see Kieran in the back there. I want to keep it to kind of, I know we can have a free chat or whatever. I want to keep it to like what we're going to do tomorrow for Morecambe. Maybe, obviously we won 6-0 last time we were out. I got a couple articles here. I bring Kieran in too. I called him out a bit after, but you guys not winning your last match. What's up, dude? So that's on me. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah,
hey, buddy.
Hope we're all well. I mean, I've been testing a few things with StreamYard, and for whatever reason, in the past couple of streams I've been in, the actual stream feedback's been quite dodgy. So if I'm jittering and everything, let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know. We're talking right now. We're talking about McLean. I don't know if you watched what Ivan was saying. McLean moving into the midfield. It's been talking about like a masterclass from Parkinson. I think it's a really good move moving forward. Ivan, basically just talking about, and if you heard a little bit about just like body language for us. And by the way, what happened to you guys? You guys shit the bed. We needed you. What happened? You guys didn't help us out. You guys lost.
We lost, yeah, and I could sit here and blabber on and cry about how we had 3 penalty calls that weren't given, and I can blabber on about the fact that all Mansfield did was foul us anytime we started the counter-attack. And I could blabber on about everything, but at the end of the day, when you don't have a shot on target in 90 minutes, evidently, you can only blame yourself for it, can't you? We didn't even test the keepers. I mean, it's a typical Mansfield performance in that regard, isn't it? Let's be fair.
So, did I see this in the chat? Let's talk quickly, and then we'll get to the shit I want to get to. Whatever, it always goes tits up when I'm like on a Friday, so it's a free for all. Mansfield and Stockport right now, it's just both you guys. They're having a bit of a wobble themselves, which is keeping everyone in that top 3 and possibly getting into the playoffs, right? So, the hottest team in the league right now, as I bring it up, is what, Walsall? No, it's Walsall.
It is Walsall, yeah. 5 on the bounce.
Right, and if 5 on the bounce in Morecambe, we play tomorrow. I've won the last 2, who we have tomorrow. So, the league's still wide open. Stockport's having the biggest wobble out of the top, and it's left the door open for us. I'll go to Ives first. As far as like the race, what do you think about the race? And then we'll talk, and then I'll go to you. I'll go to you after that in regards to like getting into that, into those playoff spots. What do you think about the wobble up top?
I'm a bit surprised by the fact that Stockport is having this kind of wobble. I was expecting them to kind of run away with the league. I got to be honest, but it makes it exciting. I'm happy to see this kind of competition, and the way the league is right now. It makes it all more so important to win the games, because it's good to control your own destiny, and Wrexham is definitely in that position right now. With Mansfield, I just, like I said before, actually like the way they play, probably better than everybody else in this league, and I think that they're going to win the league, to be honest, but we'll see.
In regards to you guys trying to get into the playoffs and where you see things like that, what are you thinking? Like, what about the top of the league? The top 10 is pretty wide open, in my opinion. For all.
Yeah, I'll talk top of the league first, out of the fact that you're talking Wrexham, and Wrexham are in and about that scenario. So, in terms of Mansfield, not the prettiest football I've watched this season, but definitely the most consistent football I've seen this season. They don't make many errors, hence we had, I think in the 180 minutes we played them, we had 2 shots on target, or something along those lines. They're really well gelled at the back. Weirdly, we play Stockport tomorrow, so we have another chance to help you out. We'll see how that goes. We were the team that ended their what were they, 12 games in a row in terms of a win streak. So we were the ones that ended up beating them on the day. So we have a one up over them in that regard. But at the same time, they hammered us 4-0 at their place last season. So it'll be very interesting to see. But I mean, given we were talking, what was it, 2 weeks ago, about the fact that Parkinson needs to make changes to actually, refresh the squad and make it to where it's more competitive and more balanced within the team. I mean, he's done the very basics of it. He's moved a few players around, and I'm not going to sit here and say that's a Phil Parkinson masterclass, because that would be very naive of me to say, because he hasn't done anything too advanced. Like any of us could say, move a different player here and play someone else. Like, that's not a...
But to be fair, and let's play devil's advocate to you guys both, you get back. Like, Parkinson is, and I was guilty of this too earlier this season, right? And I know, listen, I understand you're not a fan, but obviously you follow the league and you know what's going on. We've all been very critical of Parkinson. Like, granted, he's not Sir Alex, right? But to think like he's willing to make adjustments even if he's forced into it. And I think we had some of the guys on earlier that he won't make any changes. I think that he's willing to go through and make some changes. Oh, is he evolving? Like, is Parkinson evolving? Because we're in a position right now, and to win the league or go up automatically. I mean, do you think there's evolution there?
I'd like to say yes. I mean, the way modern football works, you have to adapt the way that a manager manages a team, the way a a team is coached and everything. So there is the part of me that wants to say yes, but then there's the part of me that thinks of Phil Parkinson for every other team he's been at over the past 2 decades or whatever it is. And he tends to do this. He'll make 1 or 2 changes here and there. Everyone will say, oh, is he starting to, adapt his play? Is he going to adapt the way his team plays? And then he sticks with that. And then, you'll have a few games of, it's looking all right. And then the cycle repeats itself until it almost feels like he runs out of passion. But I don't know. There is the part of me that wants to say yes, and I'm not going to sit here and discredit him. He needed to make changes, and he did. So, he definitely recognised that. But for an article to label it as a masterclass, I mean, no, it's not a masterclass. It is the very bare minimum when your team's underperforming. But credit where credit's due. He's done what he's needed to do.
Weren't there play? Ive, what do you think? Same thing to you, man. What do you think?
We won this game because of Paul Mullen. The way we played the second half, it's the opposite of masterclass. They could score more in the second half than we could. You winning 4-0 in the game like that, you bringing a 120-year-old Fletcher on. Tell me why you're doing that when you're talking about saving the guy for the rest of the most important games of the season.
That's his number one problem.
No, I'm going to carry on here because if you call this a tactical masterclass, I'm a freaking Chinese cosmonaut. Okay, so the other thing is you bring in Marriott and Bolton with 5 minutes to go. The guy. So Paul Mullen now is on back injunctions, right? So you need somebody to score goals for Paul. If Paul doesn't score, you need somebody else. You're winning 4-0. Your guy scored a natural hat trick. You know that he's not quite right. You get him off, and you keep Palmer on if you want to. Or if you really want to play Fletcher, all you need to say to that guy is, you beautiful Scottish bastard, make sure that this guy, being JM, scores 3 more. That's your only job. Don't do anything stupid. Stay right in front of the D on top of the box and provide this guy with the balls. We need to score. He needs to score because if Mullen goes down, he's the only guy who can fucking save us.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fair enough.
So, and it's just 2 points. I can make 20 more, like the decisions that he made. So, no, it's not a tactical masterclass. And no, Parkinson is not evolving. If anything, he's losing the changing room and he's losing respect of the players. That's what I can see from the body language of the players. And because they are not stupid. If you think that players don't understand what kind of game they're playing, what kind of football they're playing, you are delusional. They are getting pissed off with this simplistic, stupid football, desperate that we are playing. If we don't win this next game, the whole cycle starts over again. Everybody will forget about this tactical mastermind, and everybody is going to say the opposite.
We smashed them last time out. No, we'll flip back around. I'll give you a couple more Parkinson quotes here. So Parkinson wants Wrexham AFC to continue building the momentum against Morecambe. Maybe I can get a little insight on what you think on Morecambe, Kieran, after this too. We're just going to continue with our momentum that we picked up. This is Parkinson, Reds boss, who watched the Shrimps beat Crawley 1-0 on Tuesday. It was Jed Brennan's first game when we last played them. I think that's the manager, right, Kieran? Guys? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When we last played them, and they've changed every players around since, so it was good to have a look at them. They had a great win at Crewe on Saturday, and they're close to the playoffs, which is where Newport are, so they will be looking to get them into playoff zone. They were expected to be up and around it in League One team last year, but they're surprisingly doing well. He said he enjoyed watching them. So on that note, what Parkinson's saying there, and knowing him and knowing the league on Morecambe and Crewe, and what are your thoughts in regards to how he's looking at this, praising them, and on the manager, if you know anything about Jed Brennan?
I mean, I know very little about Jed Brennan. When he came into Morecambe, I think he was kind of known for being an inexperienced coach and almost a test to see if the players that were of use to him could be adapted. In all fairness to him, he's done what you can argue Parkinson hasn't done. He's won that dressing room over. He's got them to a point where, they're not the most fantastic, abled group of players in the world, but they have a system. And when you're beating Crawley, you're beating Crewe, especially given the fact that Crewe were 2-0 up. They've got this almost siege mentality from what I remember of watching them, where they could be 2-3-0 down and they still won't stop putting pressure on you. So it'll be an interesting watch, I'm sure, for either fan or for a neutral. And I don't expect it to be a game of you'll win by a comfortable, what was it, 5-0 last time out? I don't think that'll...
Six. One was an own goal, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it'll be anywhere near that kind of scoreline. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, that was also Jed Brannan's first game in charge, and they were called for him to be sacked the second that full-time whistle went, which is quite funny. But yeah, I mean, he's got them now to a point where that they're clicking, they're in and around the playoffs for a reason, and the difference between this playoff push than what you normally expect is that usually there's 3 or 4 teams going for 7th at this point. However, as of right now, you're talking 7th to 14th, 15th are within that fight of 7th spot if you look at the points and how many games are left. So there's a lot more of a reason to go out and want to win these games. And we've talked about the fact that, every team will bring their A game to Wrexham because of just the attention and the kind of atmosphere the place generates. I wouldn't expect it to be an easy game by any means. I'd expect it to be a very physical game, very much one where you're going to have to rely on a defensively capable and stable performance and just don't concede first. From what I've seen from them, you concede first. They depending on the atmosphere and depending on how you respond to it, they will either chuck everyone behind the ball or they'll go for a second, third, and they'll kill the game off. So it'll be an interesting one for sure.
So, yeah, on that note, going on, Parkinson went on to say, so Tom O'Connor is back in training and talking about, defensive. O'Connor's in training. Paul's got shots in his back. Looking at that going into tomorrow, are you starting Tom tomorrow in the midfield? What are you doing? Like, where do we think we're at? And Kieran saying they're not going to be an easy game, even though we smashed them last time, but we're going to get everyone's best shot. So what are you thinking?
I think that when the player is out for that long, they almost have to go through another preseason prep.
Mm-hmm.
If you starting him tomorrow, you're making a big mistake. You probably need to bring them in on the sub for a couple of games, if he's well enough. Because fracture in the foot is it's not a good thing, and I had that. It's horrible. It lasts forever.
Yep.
And you can re-aggravate it really, really easy. And especially if it's a stress fracture, which what it seems to be like, because he was overplayed. And that goes back to my previous comment. Why are you playing Pulmolen in a 4-0 game for almost 90 minutes?
He's only 24, right? Snatch is 24.
Yeah. No, stress fractures can appear in 18-year-old guys. I've seen that in the army a lot. It's it's poor management. That's all it is. Why are you playing Paul Mullen when you have to save him and you know that he is not physically quite right? So if he is on back injections, he should not be playing. We have very important games coming up, and that's when I would say you need to play JM, and I hope that he will play him because he's a very capable player. Unfortunately, turned into Billy Waters now, but you have to let Paul recover. You can't just run him into the ground.
Mm-hmm. And on that. Looking at, he's talking about George Evans, who's back on grass. It's good here watching him. He's out there now progressing. Is really positive for us. Other matches that were happening yesterday, and we got to look at this league in a way. Kieran's here. MK Dons play Salford tomorrow. And no, it's not. Is that right? No. Where's the matches tomorrow? Let me see. There was anyone?
It's MK Dons, Salford. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the matches that we need to look out for tomorrow? I'm trying to bring it up that are on the list that talking about what's going to be
Crewe play Doncaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Doncaster Rovers. I'm trying to be the matches tomorrow. Let me see here. Okay, Notts play Wimbledon tomorrow. Accrington Stanley, Bradford City, Harrogate Crawley, Mansfield Swindon, MK Salford, Barrow Colchester, Walsall Forest Green. That's a W for Walsall automatically. Doncaster Crew Alexander, Morecambe Wrexham Stockport. So you guys have. So this is actually a good transition here. You guys have the most important game of the week, probably.
Yeah, I mean, within the simplest way of putting it. Yeah. Not only for I think we lose this game, we kind of pull the playoff push. You know, we kind of reside away from that, and we prepare for next season. But depending on the result, kind of dictates what goes on within that top three. Because if any of those teams are going to lose, if you're going to talk the fixtures, we're the ones that'll beat Stockport. We're the ones that'll cause them to have this even bigger kind of hiccup, if you want to call it that. I don't expect to beat them. I don't think any Newport fan with half a brain would. But within the same kind of experience of watching Newport this season is that I've been heavily surprised many a times. It all depends on the kind of setup we go for, and I hope we go there with the intention of what we did when we played them at home, make them uncomfortable, kind of play a high line, cause them to not be able to play out the back, because that's what they're relatively known for and they're relatively good at. It'd be quite nice to be able to say to you, within the next few days, not only are we back in the playoff race, but we've also benefited you in one way or another. But we'll have to see, and it's definitely one that I'm very much looking forward to. What I'm not quite looking forward to, though, is the fact that I'm supposed to get up in about 3.5 hours' time in order to get prepared to go to Stockport. We've kind of sacrificed every.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go to bed. How old are you? How old are you?
I am 18 years old.
Oh,
so
you'll be up in 20 minutes. Done. I'll
exactly. That's
Listen,
why
I'll
you
send
don't need
Ivan
to sleep.
He'll he'll get you up in 20 minutes from now. You're done.
It's fine. I mean, I'll probably just sleep on the coach anyway. They're quite nice. The coaches there are quite nice, but so long as we get a positive result, it'll all be worth it, right?
Yeah, you should we'll have a live watch along. You should send me text while you're at the match. Let us know how it's going. Even some videos or something will help you out. But shit, man, you got to go to bed. But 18 years old, God, I wish Ivan. When were you 18?
Don't get me started, man. It's like feels like 100 years ago.
I was 18 last April, so I'm 19 next month.
Okay.
Well, oh boy.
Oh God.
Man. Enjoy it. It don't last too long.
We're getting rid of the sleep now because I know later down the line the sleep's required.
Yeah.
Sleep is overrated. Yeah.
We can totally transition this from football to like life lessons. Listen, when I was 18, yeah, geez, oh my God. All right, well, you get off to bed, man. It's good. Listen, send me a message tomorrow. Send me something. I'll plug you and do your thing, man. But it's awesome. Do us a favor tomorrow. Can you please do that? Do us a favor.
Listen, all right, usually I wouldn't want to benefit Wrexham in many ways, but for the sake of our season, I would quite like to, for the sake of our season, our ambitions, I hope we do you a favor inadvertently.
Yeah, I love it.
Go for it, guys. Have a good game.
Yeah, have a good game.
You too, guys.
All right, Kieran. Good to see you, man. All right. Sorry.
Good to see you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. There you go. Later.
Take care.
It's bedtime, man. God, I just got to get up in 3 hours. Now I feel bad. It's on me. Oh,
he'll be sweet. He'll be all right.
He'll be up like this. 18.
Yeah, man. Who needs coffee?
Yeah. 18. That was 24 years ago. Laugh out loud says, speaking of 18, I've been looking at the matches, and I think we're a very good chance of coming away with 18 points in March.
Oh, guys, let's just we'll have a lot to talk about after this next game. Let's just wait for this next game.
So so it's about momentum, right? We talk about this all the time, right? It's about momentum. We have to go and continue this. The door is open. The door is open. The door is. I just take it. No sleep, no coffee, no nothing. No way. He's. Man, God bless him. We'll do life lessons one day with Kieran on here. We'll help him out. Yeah. Good kid. Good guy. Sorry. Yeah. No, it's a very important game tomorrow. I know. This is a very important game, and I think keep the momentum going. And it's not. Listen, I want to talk about negativity. It's like you can't be dumb positive, but we have to go and we have to keep the momentum. The door is open. The door is open, man. This league is crazy.
We got to win. We got to keep the momentum going. We got to win. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure who's going to have a great day, who's going to play one of the best games of the season, but whoever it will be, I just, boys know if they want to get promoted, they need to bring their.
Who do you want to see tomorrow? I see Hugh I see you in there, Hugh. I'll bring you on in a second. Who do you want to see tomorrow play well? Actually, let me bring Hugh in, and then as you do that, I think it's his first time out, right? I think it's his first time.
Yeah, sure.
Let me cut you off. Yeah, hold on. Hugh, I'll bring you in here if I can figure this out. Add to the stage. There you go. Hello, Hugh.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You were on with me on the weekend chat afterwards, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I had you were laughing. I had a slight problem. I had the TV on at the same time, so I had I was talking and I was hearing myself a few seconds later.
Well, welcome to the local pundit. I'm trying to convince Ivan here. I'm trying to convince. I want you tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself.
It's happening again. It's like a double. I'm doing a double. It's a double. Okay. What's the problem?
We can hear you here fine. So
no, I can hear you absolutely fine. No worries here.
You're good here.
I hear everything double here.
It's because your YouTube window is open, so you need to close. You need to close your YouTube window.
Yeah, and then just be here.
I see. Right.
Look at Ivan. Look, Ivan on a Friday. Let me know if that works.
Oh,
that probably might work. Better?
Right, I think that's better.
Okay. All right, tell us about yourself, Hugh. Yeah, we got you. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us about your history.
Yeah, I'll tell you a bit about myself.
We're going to kick ass tomorrow.
Sorry?
Convince Ivan that we're going to kick ass tomorrow.
I think we are. We'll play the same team, hopefully. He might make up one or two changes, but I think a team that wins 4-0 at home, we need to go with that. Mullin will be okay. He's had a whole week to rest. He's no problem. He might not, he will start most games. It might take him off on Tuesday, maybe, but it depends. But anyway, about myself, right? I am 65 years old. 6'5". Yeah. Well, thank you. I started watching Wrexham. Well, first of all, when I was 7, my father and I used to support my village football team, which is Coed Poeth. And I live 4 miles northwest of Wrexham. I was 7, and my dad was 37, something like that. And he used to take me to watch them until I was about 11. And then when I was 11, he took me to watch Wrexham. And we played Port Vale on an evening in the autumn of '69. And I think it was a 1-1 draw. Anyway, I didn't used to, I was only 11. I remember going to the odd game that season. At the end, I went with my friends. And where the Cop is now, there was a big stand there. It was an old stage from a gallery from a cinema. They stuck it there. It was called the Bushfield stand, and you actually, it was a stand. It was on stilts, and there were still people below, just on the Cop. Anyway, I watched the game there towards the end of the season, and we actually got promotion that season. So that was 1970, say April. We got promotion to League One, what is now League One. It was a third division at that time. It was a third tier. So we did that then, and then Wrexham had a great 70s. We were all in the league, what is now League One, third tier, and eventually at the end, 78, after a difficult year before, we narrowly failed. Like a bit like Wrexham did the other, against Grimsby that time. I won't go into that. It's a long story, but we got promotion again in 78, and we were in what is now the Championship for 4 years. So that was a great time. I remember watching West Ham at Wrexham. We actually beat West Ham. We played, a lot of teams that dropped out of the Premier League. We were there for about 4 years. We were 4 years anyway. Yeah, that's my history with Wrexham. I was also a member of the Supporters Trust governing body from 2011 to 2014, and I was in the Wrexham, in the Wrexham directors box when we bought the club for £1 in 2011, and we took over.
Wow.
And I looked after. I did a bit of work on the membership, collecting membership and getting more people to join. So they get people. We couldn't get everybody to join, to be perfectly honest. We got about 4,000 down that area, but we couldn't get any more. Now we got, it's a different story now. But that's a bit of my history. Football's not everything. It's not everything for me watching Wrexham, but it's been important. I've watched quite a few games.
What do you? So I'll leave this. I'll pass this to Ives in regards to he's got. He's having a little Parkinson. We're having like a Parkinson chat. We having like a Parkinson chat. I'll let Ivan frame it for you about moving players alarm, but I'll pass it to him so he can. Sorry about that, by the way. Go ahead, Ivan. I'll leave it to you.
No, I think we started this. First of all, great to meet you. It's great to have somebody of your background, and those opinions are probably the most important ones because you saw the team and the development of everything through the thick and thin. We were just talking. We were just talking about. Would you call what Parkinson have done over this game a masterclass, tactical masterclass, or a mastermind? What do you think about his tactical, strategic, and systematic abilities? What's your opinion?
This season, you mean?
Yeah.
Actually, from my opinion, 3 seasons now, nothing really changed. Like the way the team plays from tactical and system standpoint.
I've never played any kind of representative football myself, right? And I'm not a coach. I'm not qualified at all. I've watched a lot of football, and it took me until the 90s until I understood football. It was just, he scored a goal. That's all I would pick up in the 70s anyway. When I was, in my 20s or thereabouts. But I understand a bit more. But I wouldn't I couldn't critique Parkinson. But things I picked up from what people have said. Some people, I think, all I can do is choose the opinions of people I hear. And if I think that's about right from my, I tend to, I usually have an idea if somebody, obviously, So people have said he's not really got a plan in a game. What he does, what people have said anyway, I forget who he was, but he gets good players in, and that's what he's done. And he just he hopes they can perform. He's got some kind of plan though. I think that's a bit harsh, but I don't know. I'm not really. I understand what's going on with the positions and everything, but I'd say I think he's got a few favourites. He's tried to play Dolby so many times.
Ugh.
I mean, he does have an effect on the game, but I don't think he really does enough himself to score, does he? You know,
Dolby's really good on
especially
the
this
bench.
season. Sorry?
Dolby's really. I said Dolby's really good on the bench for me.
Well, yeah, I don't like to criticize any players because, especially this team is a pretty good team. You know,
Yeah,
we've had
Ivan made a good point last time we were on. Ooh, sorry. Ivan made a really good point, and I think he could probably say it better than I can. We're used to being an underdog team. Now we're not an underdog team anymore, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
Mm,
we don't have the
yeah.
mentality. So being on top is different, right?
It's a very new thing for me because we had a good team in the 70s as it was in the championship, right? What is now the championship. And the 90s team was pretty good under Brian Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were beating Premiership teams in the cup, and we didn't get out to that though. We were in League One all the time. We never got out to League One. We were very close. We were very close a few times. But there was money. There was money, not as much now as there is now, but there was money. We got good players, you know. And in the end of the 70s, of course, there was a lot of people going to watch matches, and it was a fantastic time, the 70s. But the 80s was pretty poor, apart from a few Welsh Cup wins and then going to the European Cup. We did do very well. We've always punched above our weight all the time, but you know the league we were in we were doing pretty poor. The attendance is really low, and then from the 2000 mark, around 2001, 2002, we had serious problems with ownership. You know, two sets of people that didn't invest in players, did all sorts of daft things. I won't go into that. So we're not really used to. I'm not really used to having a good team, for 20 years. So it's great for our home fans now. It's great because we're all happy. We're all basically happy, But I'm really not enough of a football person. I know what a good player is. I can see a good player. I can see, obviously, just I don't, I've just got a bit of common sense. That's all. I couldn't really. But I think Parkinson maybe needs to be more objective, with the players. He's got a few favourites, I think. Obviously, Mullen will be a favourite, but he's got a few people he likes to develop, and a few players perhaps he's.
Real quick, we'll go to we'll go through what do you think for score prediction for tomorrow? What do you think? And then we'll and then I got to jump off.
I think I wouldn't like to say really, but I wouldn't be surprised if we win 2-0 or 1-0, or it might be 2-1, something like that. But I think the important thing is, like we did when we were getting the promotion last season, is don't concede first. That's what we were trying to do all the time. We haven't been able to do it as much this season, to be honest. And we can come back, but I think, when you go away in this league, if you go down one, away from home, the other team will, and especially because, we're such a big target to hit now. So if somebody scores against us, we're one down, they're likely to galvanize their supporters. They'll all be cheering away, and it's if the statistics are that if you go one up in any game, you're 73%. You're a 73% chance of winning. So the team who scores first has a 73% chance of winning. We've got to stop. We've got to stop him scoring first.
Well, I think that's a good point, and I hope that we're going to win 2-0. That's my score prediction. But I'm afraid that we might see a draw, 1-1 draw. So my fan side says 2-0, 2-0 victory. But my other side says 1-1 draw.
It's a bit strange. I mean, I remember that match. We actually outplayed them, and they got a fairly young team, and we beat them 6-0. But I think, the other Newport fan was just saying, and I've forgotten his name.
Kieran.
You know, they had a new manager who came in that time, so he's had time to, he's obviously developed the team a bit now.
It's not going to be the same. The game is not going to be the same. We're playing a different team now, and we are a different team now as well. So, we pretty much can forget about that first half of the season result. It'll be different.
Hugh, come on for the. You gonna jump in for the watch along, or are you gonna go to the match tomorrow?
I'm not going to the match. I'm not going to Morecambe. No.
Okay.
But no, I'll be on the watch along. I'll be on the watch along. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be on the watch along. But I'm hopeful though, because we've had a mixed bag of results lately, but we won well on Saturday. And it's an opportunity with that behind us to try and get another win.
Well, hopefully we can keep it going for sure.
But it's I mean, there's a lot of everybody's dropping points from the top to the bottom.
It's crazy.
I mean, there's always somebody. I mean, is it Morecambe and Walsall are doing well at the moment? I mean, Stockport's having a terrible run, really.
Now we've been talking about it a lot. The level of unpredictability in this league is staggering. And
I mean, I tell you, MK Don started well. They beat us 5-3, then they were doing pretty well early on. Then they went down into mid-table, didn't they? But now they've come back up
right now.
And apparently they played a fantastic game against Mansfield. They beat them 2-1. And I've heard reports on that they were superb. There was, the Wrexham Ramble people. They listened to it. They watched it. I haven't seen it myself, but they watched it live on TV, and they said MK Dons was superb. And they beat Mansfield, top of the league, but
hopefully
they couldn't win at home against them. So
hopefully we can get some favorable results.
I'm glad that we played them twice now, and we got a draw, didn't we? Which we could have easily won, and we could have easily lost that match. But at least a point isn't bad. But they're in good form at the moment. So I just hope for Stockport keep failing, because if they go back back on form again. There's a lot of teams. There's so many teams now that are vying for those 3 places.
I think at this stage we need to stop worrying about what teams are doing around us and focus on what we do, because everything is in our hands. And if we perform, the teams that are going to get promoted from here on are the ones that will become more consistent. So consistency now will win the promotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Obviously, fans like us, we will talk about the teams and say, well, they could be doing, but obviously the team, they need to be, concentrating on themselves. It's just 11 games to go now. So is it? No,
it's
10,
squeaky bum time. It's squeaky bum time.
It's
must win.
Every game is a must-win game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna.
If we could win, people say if we could win 6 home matches, but some of those we've got to play. We've got to play Mansfield.
We got 6 pointers. Yeah, we have
Stockport. We've got to play Crewe as. Yeah,
it's at this stage the best thing to do is to don't look too far into the future. One step at a time. One step at a time.
Well,
everything is it's a cup game for 6 pointers.
But it'd be nice to. We've got 2 matches now coming up close, and we've got Morecambe away and Harrogate at home. Now Harrogate, they were doing pretty well until about a month ago. They got hammered by Mansfield. And I'd like to see us beat them because we were 2-0 up against them away, and we let 2 goals in. They came back at us. So it'd be nice to win that one on Tuesday as well. But probably, but be 6 points would be nice to get, just to get a bit of good, get a bit of good form. It's an opportunity after winning 4-0. It's an opportunity to get some points on the board, isn't it? There's a bit of momentum.
This next game will be a huge thing. If we see this momentum building, if we see 2 good results strung together, that can make the rest. That can make the rest of the season. But if that doesn't happen,
I mean, 4 would be okay, but 6 would be better, wouldn't it? But less than 4,
6 is more better than 4. Yeah.
6, anyway, just from the psychological standpoint.
The first time I listened to your channel, it was Ivan. You're in New Zealand, aren't you?
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it? And then there was the other guy, the Irish guy. Where is he then? What's his name again?
So that's Sheldon, aka Francis. Yeah, and he lives in Finland.
I was very impressed, Ivan, with your commentary. I hadn't heard. I know that Josh does commentary. I hadn't heard him first. I know he does the commentary usually, but the first time I actually not because you were on. I didn't know who was going to be on. I didn't know about the fact that Josh couldn't do the night matches and all that. But anyway, I was listening to you, Ivan, and I was very impressed with your commentary. It reminded
I've been retired.
Me a
well, producer Annis retired me. I'm out.
No. I heard you as well later. I heard you a week later, and you're pretty good as well. You were taking note of what Mark Griffiths was saying or whatever. But I've been listening to Mark Griffiths for years. He's really, really good. He's really good. He's been doing it for quite some time now. But he's I used to listen to Radio Wales in the past, in the 70s, before Mark. My Radio Wales, I do still listen to them sometimes, but they used to have very, very poor commentaries. They talk about the match and they say, "Oh, Man United are doing well, aren't they? And Spurs, and they're great." They just go right off the game for about 5 minutes. Oh, is there? There's some birds up there. With Mark Griffiths, the standard would be.
I think in commentary you have to have a good
ball. You can listen to Mark Griffiths. You know exactly what is happening. Who's got the ball? Where it is? And I was listening to you, Ivan, and you, Josh. You do pretty good, but I don't like to. I don't like to compare.
I'll tell you this. I'm so happy for the fact that we have a growing channel. I've met Ivan. He's awesome.
He's got a football background, I believe. You were a player at one time, but so you obviously, I'm purely a supporter. I'll tell you my football career. It started and finished when I was about 7 years old. We played the team next door, who, to be perfectly honest, and no disrespect, they were a special school for people, mental or physical and. And I played the only match I ever played for the school team, and I scored. I was playing left. I was playing in the back, defense somewhere. It wasn't that structured, that wasn't supposed to be. But I went up for the attack, and I knocked it in with my knee. I think it went in from off my knee, and that's the only goal I've ever scored in a sort of proper match, and then I never played again. I was maybe about 7 or 8, and I never played again for that school. And I went to the next school, I was the last to be picked every single time when we had sports.
Well, Hugh. Well, good sir. Excuse me for interrupting, but I just wanted to say that me and Josh, we have different. I guess we complement each other quite well, and as well as Francis Sheldon. I think this channel we managed to work together and help each other out. We have different backgrounds, obviously, but Josh has his basketball background, which helps him a lot because ultimately all team sports, when you have certain positions on the pitch, on the court, they all work with a similar kind of dynamics. Like if you understand one team sport, you're most likely going to understand another. And I think we just have different style of commentary. Josh is a bit more American style commentary, I'd say. It's a bit more emotional. It's a bit more about the situation, just the emotion around it. I am more of a play-by-play person, and to be honest, it's a curse because I would like to be able to watch the football game like you are watching, for example, when I'm just happy we scored and I'm happy we won. I can't do that anymore. I have a bipolar disorder because I'm happy at the same time I'm sad. So yeah.
Okay. Now I haven't watched that much of the local pundits on the match, to be perfectly honest, because I have been attracted to the Red Horde. I mean, he does a good job, to be fair. He's got something going there. He's got all these things at the back. He used to have a lot of scores up there, different teams, and he's got the flop counter, and he's had other people helping him and all that. And it's a fun thing. I mean, you watch a match, however you match it, or you're in the ground. It's a fun thing. So you want that fun thing, when you're watching the match. Okay, and I think Sean does that. To be perfectly honest, I'm not crazy. I'm not criticizing you. We're all starting. So we're all developing. But I think what's good, I was saying that he's got the fun thing going. And he jumps up and down a bit, when we score. Yeah, he says he's got this great phrase. I wasn't taking the mick at him, but I was joining up with. He says, 1-0, good guys. 1-0, good guys. 2-0, good guys. 3-0, good guys. So I was putting up. I was saying, 4-0, great guys.
It's like Liam Roberts with "Come on, get in."
We say get in, but what Sean says is 1-0 good guys, So I was putting in 1-0 good guys before he said it himself,
On this note, gentlemen,
it was just a bit of fun,
On this note, I am so sorry. I have to run. I have errands to run. I wish I could stay longer, but I gotta go.
He's 3 hours behind, and I have a work day. But no, we'll get back into it. Hugh,
I've been retired. I've been retired from full-time work for about now. How many years? I've been retired about 16 years now.
Oh wow!
I haven't worked full-time for 16 years. I was, I worked in IT. I worked in IT.
Well, you figured out the YouTube. You figured out the YouTube, which is great.
That's the background help.
YouTube, but I forgot to shut it down when I got on this other program. I didn't know.
Now you know.
Now we know.
Well, anyway, funny enough, I had the same problem before. I haven't got the TV on now at all, but I had the TV on. I said something, and it was repeated about a few seconds ago. I thought, what the hell is that? I could see Josh laughing like hell. He said, what is he doing? What is he doing? But it's all learning. I've come on because because you've got to, if you're going to come on, you've got to have a few tries, to sort it out. But I clicked on the link. I should really maybe I should have a landscape because when I come on, I've got this portrait thing like a square, So you've got a better screen than I have got, really.
Well, next time. All right, guys. I really got to run now. I'm so sorry.
I gotta go because
You gotta go. Yeah,
see you tomorrow.
So before I go, one of my drawbacks is I can't stop talking. Once I start talking, Yeah, I gotta go.
You don't say.
All the best. Thanks very much for letting me on.
All right.
No worries. We'll see you next time.
All right. Take care.
See you guys.
That was Hugh. First time for Hugh and Ives. Oh man, it's good to have new people on. Awesome. I'll see you tomorrow, right? You got to jump.
Yes. Yeah. No, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk. All right. Yes. It could have been an all-nighter. I love it. All right. That's Ivan. Good to see you, man. I'll talk to you in the AM. All right. All right. Yeah, that was Hugh, Ivan. Good to get some gentlemen that have old gentlemen. Some 65. He's not that old. He gets some men that have been watching the team for a long time and go in there. It's good to see everybody. And it's a Friday night. It's a Friday night show. It was a preview show. Got a little bit of a mix. Got a little bit of a mix in there too. I'm sorry, I have to jump too. Been on for an hour and 5. Still work day here. It's Friday. Game tomorrow. Morecambe versus Wrexham. Got to get those 3 points. MACCA in the middle. Let's hope that Newport County can do us a favor tomorrow at Stockport and Mansfield. Maybe drop some points. Let's do this. I'm ready for tomorrow's match. So on that bombshell, I will see you all in the morning.